The second type of shock, hypovolemia, on history, the patient, if suffering from severe illness, will have low intake, his appetite will be decreased. As diarrhea is one of the feature of COVID-19, so there may be a preceding history of diarrhea, not compensated by increased intake. The patient may also suffer from vomiting. The third and most important, which is usually overlooked, is the occult bleeding. The COVID-19 patients are at risk of coagulation dysfunction. So there may be a possibility of thrombosis and bleeding, and because of fever, profuse sweating, still the patient can go into hypovolemia. On examination, the patient will have cold peripheries. The capillary refill time, if checked, that will be more than 2 seconds. The pulses will be very 3D, weak, and sometimes impalpable. The jugular venous pressure, the central venous pressure, and the pulmonary capillary wedge pressure all will be low. And as a compensatory response, the systemic vascular resistance will be quite high. In cardiogenic shock, the patient will have some history of chest discomfort if he is suffering from myocarditis because of COVID-19, or he is suffering from some myocardial infarction. There may be a history of palpitations if the infection has caused, or the treatment has caused, or the complication has caused arrhythmias. There may be a history of presyncope or syncope. On examination, again, the patient will have cold peripheries, capillary refill time will be more than 2 seconds, the pulses will be weak. The differentiating point here from the hypovolemic shock could be that the JVP will be quite high if there is right heart failure. The central venous pressure will be high if there is right heart failure. The patient may have S3 gallop on precardium examination, and the systemic vascular resistance, again, as a compensatory response, will be high. The cytokine activation syndrome is a distinct variety. The baseline workup, that is of history and examination, remains the same, but something which is different is that neutrophil activation hyperinflammatory response leads to rapid progression to ARDS and shock, and the inflammatory parameters, that is the C-reactive protein or other inflammatory parameters, may be quite high. And this is a summary of different types of shocks with different parameters, which one will go high and which one will go down. How do we investigate if we are not sure about, there is no concrete evidence about a particular type of shock? So there are some basic investigations which we must perform. Among them is, the most important one is the lactate levels, because prognosis of the patient usually depends on the lactate clearance when we start treatment. The normal lactate level should be less than 2 millimole per liter, and if the level is more than 4 millimoles, then the patient prognosis is quite poor. Renal functions must be performed to know where there is any vital organ involvement or not. Liver function testing is necessary because the shock itself can cause damage to the liver, that is called the shock liver. There may be some evidence of infective focus like cholangitis, which may be a reason for development of septic shock. The cardiac enzymes like troponins and CKMB must be performed to rule out myocardial infarction and to rule out myocarditis or cardiomyopathies. Complete blood count with differential is necessary because usually there is lymphopenia in patients suffering from, which is the most prominent feature on full blood count in COVID-19 infection. But if there is leukocytosis with left shift, there is toxic granulations in the neutrophils, or there are dual bodies formation, then we can suspect that the sepsis may be one cause of the shock in this patient. Coagulation profile, including prothrombin time, activated partial thromboplastin time, and INR must be performed to rule out coagulopathy. Urinalysis to locate any infective focus there with urinary sediments must be done. Arterial blood gases is one of the important parameters through which we assess and frequently monitor the patient. And ECG is important if we are suspecting some cardiac insult. There are some added tests which I've put on one side, and that includes point of care ultrasound. Point of care ultrasound is a sort of ultrasound which gives us an opportunity to look at the important organs like lungs. We look at the heart for the wall motion abnormalities. We look at the pericardium for any development of pericardial effusion and cardiac tamponade. We look at the abdominal aorta for development of aortic aneurysm or aortic dissection. There is another bedside testing called rapid assessment for cardiac echocardiography that is specially designed in intensive care units, and that again is a transthoracic echo but look at the wall motion abnormalities of the heart and the pericardium. So these tests should be performed in any patient in whom we are suspecting shock. If there is a suspicion of sepsis and septic shock, we must perform full septic workup. And that includes complete blood count with differential, which we already talked about, blood cultures with two sets, one for aerobic and the second one for anaerobic must be performed. LFTs we talked, urinalysis we also talked. Sputum culture, if possible, should be done, but this should not compromise the precautionary measures, and that is bronchoscopy or sputum induction must be avoided, because bronchoscopy and sputum induction can cause aerosol production and convert the droplet infection to an airborne infection. So there is increased risk of the healthcare professional being infected when the bronchoscopy or sputum induction is performed. Procalcitonin, which is a test usually done to differentiate bacterial versus viral infection, is done, and it should be done at 0 and 48 hours, but the procalcitonin levels should not distract us, and we should not withhold antibiotics on the basis of normal procalcitonin levels. As these patients are suffering from pneumonia mostly, so the community acquired organisms like Streptococcus pneumoniae and Legionella should be ruled out through the